Welcome to this episode of King's Corner. I'm your host Christian King, and we're in sunny Felton, Delaware today. Sorry I wasn't able to do anything. I wish I could have put this video out sooner. But anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about today is an old sport called football, but not the NFL version. Today, it's time to make my predictions for the XFL season. So, me and my friends were talking about the XFL. Everybody's probably like, it sucked last time, it's not going to be as good as it might not even be as good as the AAF. Well, that's where you're wrong. Done a lot of my own research into the XFL, see if it's going to succeed, see if it will do better than its old self in 2001 or even better than the predecessor of last year's AAF. And what I came away with that was, yes, it's going to be a lot better. If you're wondering why, here's why. You're going to have, in the AAF, you had an owner of the company that was like, football money, but not football love. I mean, I could go without football. While in the XFL, the owner loves football. Vince McMahon much rather have the XFL succeed than the WWE succeed. I promise I've heard that somewhere before. I'm not going to say where because I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard something like that. He's willing to give it up to his son-in-law, Triple H, to the WWE and let him run the XFL. And then he, instead of him and Nick Embersaw from NBC Sports back in 2001 and 1999 running the XFL, he instead got Andrew Luck's father, Oliver Luck, a famous quarterback from the 70s and 80s that played for the Houston Oilers. Oliver Luck is a very smart gentleman. He will know what to do with the XFL. He's bringing these new and inventive ways of making it fun to watch. And then you're going to have not just the XFL, but they got all these coaches. And instead of last time when the XFL was all glitz and glamour and more trying to be WWE style instead of football style, now they're back to the roots of football. But they're also adding a little key elements. What I like with it is, if you look, I can't remember all these by heart, but there's also a lot to say. But in the rules, they talk about how it's safety and it's going to be a lot more fun to watch and more innovative. And you got to actually think when you want to punt or not. The XFL is going to prove to people that even though the NFL might stop going in the winter, February 4th or February 7th is the latest I think I've ever seen a Super Bowl go. But as soon as that time ends and it goes click, cling, the XFL season begins. And what I'm trying to say with that is the XFL is going to prove to us football doesn't end in winter. It ends officially in April or May when the XFL championship does. So technically, if we all really end up enjoying the XFL, which I think we all will because it's going to be quicker, faster, and even more physical than the NFL, I really believe that, we're going to say we only have to go what? So as we speak right now, we got 7 months till next NFL season. Well, let's fast forward 3 months. That means really you're only waiting 4 months, and then you also got preseason, so really about 3. Now, granted, preseason doesn't count. It's still going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, for my XFL prediction, I believe that we're going to see something new, something inventive. Don't be shocked if an East Coast team named the DC Defenders wins the whole thing. And I'll tell you why. Cardell Jones, even though he only had that one special run in college with Ohio State, something tells me he's going to be one of the best players to watch in this league. He's very fun to watch. He's very athletic. He's quicker than a lot of people actually think he is. When you look at Cardell Jones, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's a pocket passer. I mean, maybe he can move a little bit, but he's slow." No. When I watch Cardell Jones play, I see a poor man's version of a Pat Mahomes or Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott, or Deshaun Watson, or Blake Bortles. Yes, I said a poor man's version of Blake Bortles. Cardell Jones isn't good enough to be in the NFL as a starter, but he's good enough to be in the NFL as a backup. And I think after the XFL season concludes, he'll make an NFL roster as a backup. Because Cardell Jones he has all the intangibles to be a great backup in this league. In the NFL, all they want out of a backup is a guy who's supportive, a good leader, and he's not afraid to get dirty when it counts. Cardell Jones will do all. When you watch Cardell Jones play, he's one of the hardest playing players you'll ever watch play the quarterback position. That's why we fell in love with Lamar Jackson, because yeah, Lamar Jackson's fast and he does all those fancy spin moves. But what else do we love? We love when Lamar Jackson is having a blast, tells his coaches go for it, they listen to him, and he's giving 110% every single play. Now, granted, that won't win you a Super Bowl this year, but next year, Lamar Jackson, or even the following year, Lamar Jackson will get his first Super Bowl. So that's why I think the DC Defenders will win this league, because I think they do have the best quarterback. Who do I think they'll be going against? I think they're going to be going against the LA Wildcats, because even though these are different players than the LA Wildcats, I think as an organization with the Wildcat name, and they're inheriting that Wildcat team technically, they're going to look, well, didn't we win it last time? We won the XFL championship in 2001. Granted, that's when it was rock bottom. Nobody wanted to watch it. But I think they're going to come out with, we won it before, we'll win it again. But I'm still having everybody say, Dallas Renegades. Watch out for the Dallas Renegades. So, who's Dallas Renegades got outside of their coach, Bob Stoops? Landry Jones? Landry Jones is a quarterback, I don't know. Is he even on the same level as Clayton Thorson of the Eagles that, well, now he's of the Cowboys, that the Eagles drafted in the 5th round last year? No. Landry Jones only was in the NFL because everybody saw what he did at Oklahoma. Granted, at Oklahoma, he was a beast. Under Bob Stoops, yes. But there's a difference. In college, you have maybe 25% of those players go to the NFL. Probably not even that. In the XFL, you're going to have players that have mostly all been to the NFL or CFL. So higher competition means higher stakes. They're all going to be motivated to get into the NFL or back to the CFL because they want to prove to everybody they belong there, not here. And even though the XFL is a great learning ground for everybody, I don't think a lot of them is actually going to learn as much as they should. I think a lot of them are just here to say, the XFL, easy money, how hard is it going to be? Well, even though I don't know this for a fact, most of my resources and sources say that last week or 2 weeks ago in Houston at the training camps, it was actually very physical and actually a lot harder than a lot of those players were intended for. The XFL is going to be one of the funnest, well, one of the more fun leagues that we've had in a while. If you're into football and you're sad the NFL season is over, I strongly suggest watch the XFL this weekend, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Okay, let me segue. Let's talk about the NBA. Last night, LeBron put a dagger. He said, as much as I talked about him, it's time for me to shut up. I got to come out and say it. The reason LeBron wasn't doing as good, I guess, is because Kobe died and he didn't have a really good reason to go. Finally, last night, something clicked. I saw LeBron again. Something I haven't seen in my childhood. I haven't seen LeBron be LeBron in 2.5 years from when he was carrying the Cavaliers all the way to the finals. When LeBron was doing that, that was amazing. I mean, I remember watching, it was my mom's wedding. I'll never forget it. It was that night right before the wedding, and it's the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors, Game 6. And we go down to the final buzzer. There's 10 seconds to go. LeBron grabs the ball, runs full steam ahead like a bulldozer, going straight down the lane. Puts his right hand up, floater, right into the basket. Game winner, game, set, match, done. Incredible. I mean, you couldn't have wrote a better storyline. And then what does he do after that? He goes to the Eastern Conference Finals. Beats a Celtics team, granted without Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving, but that team was still superior in talent-wise to his Cavs. But why did they win? Not because they had the better coach, not because they had a better supporting cast, not because of anything. They had LeBron. That's all you got to say. When you're saying who's the greatest basketball player of all time, I'll continually argue LeBron. And you're probably asking why. What about Jordan? What about Kobe? What about Wilt? What about Bill Russell? What about Charles Barkley? What about Akeem Olajuwon? What about Shaq? All those guys are great. They're all all-time greats. But LeBron's number one, and here's why. When you look at career stats, LeBron, we've never seen something like this. Karl Malone was great at points and rebounds as a forward, and we didn't think we'd ever seen anything like that. But LeBron took his game and then said, I'll take a little bit of Karl Malone, I'll take a little bit of Magic, and then you have 8 rebounds, 8 points, 8 assists a game for his career. But what makes no sense is incredible to me. LeBron's not a scorer at will. He doesn't have the scoring mentality. He'd much rather J.R. Smith on his teams shoot for 40 points than him shoot for 40 points. But yet, for a career average, he still averages 27 points a game. I mean, I'm sorry, that's incredible. I don't even know how that happens. And then last night, the whole world's like, you guys are 1-1 since Kobe died. You aren't even averaging 20 points a game since Kobe died. You're not the same player you used to. You need to retire. What did LeBron say? Watch me hit 5 straight threes in the fourth quarter. Oh, and the other thing, LeBron's not a closer. All I ever hear when I say LeBron's the GOAT is, Kobe and Jordan could close. Kobe and Jordan are clutch. They make way more clutch shots than you. Than LeBron. No, he doesn't. No, they don't. Look it up. When you see LeBron versus Kobe and Jordan combined playoff buzzer beaters, you know who's up there? LeBron's number 1, and I believe it's with 9. Kobe has 3, Jordan has 1 or 2. One of those. But them together still don't have as many as LeBron. And I think I can count most of them off of LeBron's buzzer beaters. He had the one against the Pacers in 2018, the one against the Raptors in 2018. Then you have the Orlando Magic buzzer beater. Then you have the Orlando Magic buzzer beater was in 2009. In 2015 against the Bulls, the game after Derrick Rose hit his buzzer beater, LeBron hit his in the right post corner, and it was a phenomenal shot, fading away. Boom. And LeBron says, I'm not clutch, but I hit those shots. But LeBron will never get the respect he deserves. Why? Because ever since LeBron was 16 years old, what was the type everybody gave him? It wasn't, he was not the next great. He wasn't the next GOAT. No, they didn't say that. They said he's the next one. They didn't say he's the next great, like he can be one of the greats. No, they said he's the next one. He's the next face. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, where a player's projected to be this, and he's supposed to be, here's the ceiling. It's as high as it can get. And he excels it? I don't think I could have even imagined that happening if I was born and seeing that then. I mean, how do you go from being called chosen one to overachieving? That's incredible. And one thing that I'll always say that always puts LeBron over Jordan in my eyes, can we look back at one thing? Jordan left the Bulls in '93, the first time when he retired, right? They went from 56 games, winning 56 games, to winning 54 games. LeBron in 2010 left the Cavs. They went from 66 wins to not even reaching 20 wins. But wait, there's more. LeBron leaves the Heat in 2014. They go from 55 wins all the way down to 37. The Bulls, when Jordan left, they went from, so it was a strike last season in '99, they went 21-44. Granted, that's not great and not impossible for a team to do without a star player. But the Bulls didn't just lose Jordan that year. They also lost Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Steve Kerr and all their supporting cast. All those other teams, all they lost was LeBron, and LeBron just went away like a wind. And they went. LeBron does something not a lot of players, well, actually I'll say it, any player has ever done in history. He carries the team to the NBA Finals. And I don't want to hear, it was the Eastern Conference, where. So what? You think the West is that good this year? Look at the West. I mean, who's in it? You got the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard? Lakers? LeBron and the Lakers are too. I mean, the best teams are, I would actually argue the better conference is the Eastern Conference. The Sixers suck, granted, but I never thought they'd be good anywhere. They're too big and they can't shoot in a shooting league. The Bucks, oh, come on. Y'all see what Giannis did to Zion the other day? That was amazing. I'm high on Zion. I love watching Zion, but he said, so you're supposed to be the next face of the league. Everybody's just jumping over the Greek guy, huh? Yeah, let me shut this up real quick. Granted, Zion had 20 points, but only 2 of them came against Giannis. I think Giannis blocked Zion like 3 times. It was incredible. Giannis is one of the scariest players I've ever seen play the game of basketball in my lifetime. One of the greatest things I think I ever see Giannis do is when he's in the zone, he's probably the hardest player to guard in the NBA. Because when he can shoot, when he's shooting lights out from the three-point line, then you got to guard up on him. And then some days he even passes the ball great. And when all those things are clicking, he's just a bigger, stronger version of LeBron. The difference is, though, LeBron has more of a point guard mentality than he does Giannis. Giannis has more of a small forward, power forward, center mentality. Get the ball, score. LeBron's get the ball, make the right basketball play. And if you ever watch LeBron play, what has he done all 17 years of his career? He's gotten better and better and better. And some days, he even knows what to do more than other players, because in each year, his awareness goes up. It's incredible to watch because he's orchestrating the whole thing. He knows what's going to happen before he does. And you could actually see this last year with last year's Lakers team before the Anthony Davis, and they were doing great. Sadly, LeBron's groin said, no, it's time for you to finally get another injury. Well, for the first time in his career, get a major injury. And that ruined LeBron's last year. But think about this. Last year was a down year for LeBron, but he averaged a triple-double for the first time in his career. And in 2014, when we said Kawhi shut LeBron down, LeBron still averaged 30 points a game. And then in 2015, when we say Andre Iguodala shut LeBron down, he still averaged 35 points a game. LeBron is probably the hardest player to defend in NBA history because you know one thing, he's unguardable. When LeBron's aggressive and he wants to lower his shoulder and become beast mode in the NBA, it's one of the greatest things to watch, people. He just rises up, says, I'm soaring like a butterfly and I'm dunking on you like a bee. LeBron knows what to do at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, that's this episode of King's Corner. I hope you enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.